Hello everyone, like the title says, today we are covering everything you need to know about protein. I will be debunking all of the nonsense that is out there about all the sorts of different protein, timing of protein and whatnot. I had to dig really deep in order to get the answers to all of these questions, and I actually changed my opinion about a few things while digging through this. Make sure to stick around until the end, because I'm sure that a few of these things will not turn out the way that you expect them to. Plant protein is not as good as meat or eggs. Now, before you get triggered and turn off the video, there's a but, and that but is very important in this case.
I like big butt.
The most popular measurement of the quality of protein nowadays is the DIAS score. DIAS stands for Digestible, Indispensable Amino Acid Score. The DIAS chart covers all of the different proteins that are available in the world. The higher the score, the better the absorbability. The lower the score, the worse the absorbability. This is a little bit of a simplified version of what the score actually tells you, but I like to keep things simple on this channel. If you look at the DIAS score, you will see that things such as meat, whey protein, and eggs rank very high. And many of the plant proteins, plant protein powders, and stuff such as rice and whatnot rank much lower on that chart. This chart tells you that the lower the protein quality, the less you can actually use. Which means that if you would get 100 grams of protein from plants, it wouldn't give you the same effect as getting 100 grams of protein from meat, eggs, or whatnot. However, there is one big but.
Say that one more time.
The big but is what I'm gonna cover right now. The moment you combine your protein with carbs and fats, this drastically improves the absorption of the protein in your body. By adding in carbs and fats to your plate of food, which is how most of us like to eat anyway, you will greatly stimulate your insulin and other hormones. I would like to cover what insulin does. By raising your insulin, it enables you to use more of the energy that you put into your body. It also helps stimulate muscle synthesis. And last but not least, it slows down the breakdown of your muscles after a workout. So by eating plant proteins as part of a balanced diet, the absorption of your plant proteins will drastically improve. Now, this is very surprising to me as well. This is one of the things that I actually changed my mind on while digging through this research. I was always of the opinion that plant proteins, rice and whatnot, are of much lower quality, and so I believe that they resulted in much less beneficial outcomes. However, as part of a balanced diet, they are totally fine and have a right to be present in your diet. At the end of the video though, I will cover one point that gives meat a substantial benefit over plant proteins. So stick around. Adding to the flaws of the DIAS score, much of the research that has been done was also done by using participants that were in a fasted state and by only feeding them protein. So this gave an unfavorable outcome for other processes as well. This leads us to the next fairy tale, the max protein per meal myth. There is no such thing as a maximum limit to protein that you can absorb in a single meal. And if there was, then it would be the maximum limit of how much you can use as a bodybuilder to build muscle on, which would be 0.83 grams per pound of body weight. Research has shown that eating anything more than 0.83 grams per pound of body weight will not result in considerable muscle building purposes. So in theory, you could eat all of your protein for the entire day in a single meal.
Who wants dessert?
They weren't able to find significant differences between people that eat all of their protein in a single meal, or people that ate their proteins in 5 meals, or people that did intermittent fasting, or people that just had a normal diet. The most important thing is that you combine your protein with fats and carbs. And then there is another popular myth, the one of the 30 to 45 minute anabolic window post-workout. Again, this one is incorrect as well. Scientific literature has not been able to show that this is the case. It is, however, important to keep feeding your body the necessary protein that it needs throughout the day. So again, it's about total protein intake and not necessarily the timing of it. Most people would normally eat a meal before going for a workout, and they would eat a meal somewhere after the workout. This is more than sufficient in order to stimulate muscle growth, and if you don't eat a meal within 30 to 45 minutes after your workout, don't worry, all the effort that you put into your workout is not lost all of a sudden. What a workout does is stimulate muscle protein synthesis between 24 and 48 hours. This gives you more than enough time to eat the necessary amount of protein that you need in order to stimulate muscle growth. Still, I would recommend eating in around a 4 to 6 hour window around your workout. So if you didn't eat a meal before your workout that has some protein in it, it would be best to consume it several hours after your workout. But there's no such thing as 30 to 45 minutes. Really, don't worry whatsoever. Another very popular belief is that meat, especially red meat, is bad for you in terms of cholesterol and whatnot. Again, this one is incorrect as well. The foods we eat actually have a very minor impact on our cholesterol levels. However, this is not the kind of video where I wish to address this in depth. I will be making a cholesterol related video in the near future, so make sure to subscribe to not miss out on that video if you're interested. But the short answer is that your cholesterol levels are mainly determined by your everyday lifestyle. So all of the myths regarding red meat causing cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol and whatnot, all of it couldn't be further from the truth, and this is simply misinformation. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there is one key point that makes animal protein better than plant protein for someone who is into fitness. And that one key point is mainly about the volume. It's incredibly hard to get all of your protein from plants when you're working out intensively. In my case, based on science, I should be consuming about 180 grams of protein. I'm already eating 4,500 calories per day. You can imagine that it's really hard to consume that many calories and that much protein. As of now, to get to those levels of protein, I'm eating about 600 grams of meat per day, 4 eggs, and 1 or 2 scoops of protein powder. Imagine if I didn't use any of these animal products and I would try to get all of my protein from plants. I would be eating kilos upon kilos of plants mixed with rice and whatnot in order to get to those same levels. So for people that are into fitness and that work out hard, especially when you're bulking, it's simply not reasonable to do that based on plant protein alone. I could have gone way deeper into the subjects that I covered in this video, and maybe I will in the future.
Goddamn right.
However, currently I'm gearing my channel to keep all of the videos bite-sized with all of the information neatly packaged so that you do not have to waste too much of your time. However, I make sure that all of the content that I cover is factually correct. In case you would like me to cover this in depth, please leave a comment down below. If enough people are actually interested in me covering this in depth, I will. But for now, I try to stick to the conclusions and keep it as short as possible. Make sure to subscribe. My coming video will be about why it's important to keep working out until a later age for skeletal muscle strength.